Hey y'all, and welcome to Faith and Politics with me, Eileen. I am here live on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok right now. And so I just wanted to pop on quickly and give you an overview of what Faith and Politics is kind of all about and what we'll be doing on Wednesdays. If you're not familiar, just short version, I did radio in New Orleans for 4 years. Then I worked for the city of New Orleans. I built the social media department from 2018 to 2021. So I've been in communications and I was born into politics. So that's kind of my thing, politics and faith. And so I feel like we lost our faith in politics, and too many of us, aren't engaging in the civic process in the city of New Orleans and our community. So I figured if we could, increase our faith in politics, then we can engage the community, empower them with information, and then we can all go in our spheres of influence and create some change and some solutions. So on Tuesdays, I have an email blast that goes out, and it will be information that you didn't know that you needed with regard to New Orleans politics. The first email went out yesterday, so if you weren't on the blast, it was about 1,000 of you, but if you weren't on the blast, make sure you get on the blast. So if you're watching me online, you can sign up for the email blast. You can go to all the social links in my bios, whether you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, I'm on Red Note. What is the Lemonade fan base? I'm on all of them. So I encourage you to please go there and follow and hit the link and sign up. You would sign up for two things. You sign up for your email blast, and you would receive those on Tuesdays at 10. And so in that information, like I said, they'll have some information with regards to the city. Like with the first email blast, there was information on the strong mayor system. Like, did you know that the city of New Orleans has a strong mayor system and what that is and what that entails? So I gave you a little breakdown of that. And then I did a podcast, like kind of an inaugural one, so I could put it in my first blast. And so there's about a 45-minute podcast that goes with it. And it breaks down what's going on in New Orleans politics. That's probably one you should listen to, because I wasn't really holding my tongue. And I was like, oh, Lord, I said all that. Yeah, I did. But anyway. So you should go watch that. It's on YouTube. It's actually right here on Instagram and TikTok. If you can go back and watch those lives, they're still on there. I believe they're on there. I know it's on TikTok for at least 30 days. Instagram, it'll be there for a while. And of course, YouTube. But make sure you go sign up on YouTube. You can sign up and get the notifications. You can get the dings. And so we want to make sure you do all that. So Tuesdays at 10, the blast will go out. Tuesdays at 12, I will have my podcast kind of breaking down the thought of the week, or what the question was. And the question was, did you know that there's a strong mayor system? And then this week it was, what departments is the office of the mayor responsible for? Because so many times in our city, our community, or wherever, you have an issue and you don't know where to direct your grievance or your solution or whatever it may be. And so if we know who is responsible for which part of government, then we can all be more responsive and hold them accountable. And so I believe that's what we really need right now, so that we can all move forward together. And so this is kind of our Wednesdays meetups. And so on Wednesdays, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have meetups, and they're either going to be in person or on Zoom. Today was on Zoom, so I was excited about that. I had my first meetup today. But you will find out where those meetups are located and what's going to be happening with them by email. So you got to be signed up for the blast. So make sure you sign up, and sign up for the SMS text messages, because this will be fun. On Saturdays, we're going to have Solution Saturdays. I'll send out a text. It'll be like a poll or a question, or, something where we need, where we can get your feedback of like what's been going on in New Orleans, your 2 cents. How can you fix this in your neighborhood? And so that's why I really want you to go sign up there so you can participate in the process and what we have going on. So with that being said, I'm just going to kind of give you a rundown of what we talked about this week. So if you missed it, here's kind of a breakdown for you, because I really believe that, we've lost our faith in politics, so we need to bring it back. let's say too many of us have lost their faith in politics and don't participate in the civic process. Let's educate ourselves, share viable solutions, speak truth to power, create effective change, and pray together. So on Thursdays, I'll be having a power hour. Everyone isn't into prayer, but I am. So, you can participate Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. If you don't want to pray, if you do want to pray, you can pray with us on Thursdays as well. If you just want to pray, you can pray with us on Thursday. And you don't have to participate with anything else. So you can pick and choose how you want to interact with faith and politics. So it's like meeting you where you are. It's never over, too much information. You can choose what days you want to be connected or not. And so it'll be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays is a power hour of prayer. And all of this information will be in our Tuesday blast. So what's going on Tuesday, what's going on Wednesday, what's going on Thursday, and what's going on Saturday will all be in our Tuesday blast. That's why it's so important to make sure that you go register and sign up so that you can get notified of what's going on, because y'all, we're going to be having a lot of stuff going on. And as y'all know, I don't really hold my tongue. I speak a lot of truth, whether people like it or not. Most people don't like it, but it is what it is. I believe in just giving people information and letting them make their own decision. Our media and our news and our leaders and this, that, and the other really like to give their opinion based and giving us facts. And I've watched that in media, and having been in media and communications for a while, it's just been something that's really aggravated me. And now I just feel like all we have is this opinionated people. And I'm like, just give me the facts. I can make my own decision. I can do that. And so with that being said, if you haven't gotten it by now, I am an independent. I'm not Democrat or Republican, because I believe both parties have an issue. I was raised in the Democratic Party and have very close ties to the Democratic Party. Yet there are just some things that I kind of do have an issue with. Like, it's crazy, because it's actually something that got changed in the nation today. That being a woman, that that have men play in women's sports, that wasn't something I was really keen on. So I was pretty happy about that change day. And I think a lot of people were like, that's just kind of common sense. But everybody has different opinions, but that's just where I am on it. I reign purple. I don't care about the blue or the red, and I don't really care about either one ever. So I aggravate people on both sides of the aisle. So that's just what it is. So that's what you get over here. You may get convicted every now and then, but I get convicted too when I listen and watch things that go on in the city. I was raised in a political family, and so there's just certain things I got to see and know that I just feel like everybody should see and know, because it's really important if we want to bring our city back. So kind of jumping back in this, because I don't want to be long tonight, but while working for the recall for months, I listened to many residents standing on the corners, and I realized there's a lot of stuff that we know and a lot of stuff that we do not know. And it's crazy, because I always say this has been one of my things. So if you know me, you've heard this before, but if not, it might be brand new to you, might be something you need to know. Information is vital. And especially, having worked in communications for the city of New Orleans, you can see the difference between people having the information and people don't, because it's y'all next level. So one of the things I always say is, it's the person who knows what time the meeting starts is what's up. So if you think the meeting starts at 6:15 and the meeting starts at 6, then you're already late. And so I tell that to people because the residents of the city of New Orleans are already late. So y'all are thinking that the meeting starts at like 7:45 and the meeting starts at 5:45. Like, y'all are 2 hours late. And 2 business days, like 2 full weeks, actually months and years at this point, because there are certain things that y'all never get clarity for. You never get information. You never get to the end of it. They dig a lot of ditches with their new plans and things like that. They start a lot of stuff, but how many ribbon cuttings do you see? How many things do they finish? Let me just give you an example about that. When I was working for the city of New Orleans, now this was between 2018 and 2021, so I don't remember the exact year, probably because we had COVID, so maybe it was 2019-ish, could have been 2021, because we were in and out because of that. Anyway, long story short is the firemen's headquarters, their training facility by City Park. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. That's been closed and looks a hot mess. Well, long story short, I was there when they first started that process. And if you go drive by it, do you see a training facility for the firemen? No, you don't. Want to know why? Because we don't finish things in the city of New Orleans. Y'all see a lot of things. That's the word. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Groundbreaking. Y'all see a lot of groundbreakings happening all over the city of New Orleans, but you don't see the final thing. Just like all the construction. They start all this construction, but they don't finish it. The program management is not working. And so with all of that being said, I just want to, give residents information that I have found over the years that I believe will help you to advocate for things that you want in your community. Let me give you an example. When I was social media manager, I created a link. It was NOLA.gov/apps. Is it still there? I don't know if it's that exact link. Hopefully it is, because that's very easy. But it was, New Orleans has all of these apps and information sources and data sources, and the residents of the city of New Orleans don't even know they exist, and that just drives me nuts, because I'm like, why do we have all this information and people don't know it exists? So NOLA.gov/apps, APPS, that's what I named it when I was there. If it's still that, I don't know. I just thought that was an easy thing for everybody to get, but it is what it is. I think you should go check that out. You could sit on there for hours. I'm not kidding, because it goes through like all the data points for NOPD. It goes through the data points for the catch basins. It goes through data points of permitting and city codes and all kinds of stuff. You could sit on there forever. But the point is that residents need to know it exists, so you know where to find information. So that's a big one. NOLA.gov/apps. That's what I created. Hopefully it's the same one. If not, it will probably direct you to where it is. But it's a long page, and never mind, I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, it's a lot of information there. You should go do it. And so that's just what I found out during the recall process, and even after, because, they tried to blackball me and make me be quiet, but, I just don't stay quiet. I've had stuff and happen with life. I've been shot at and tried to be killed, but you know what? I'm still talking. God, you can't shut me up. And so that's just what it is. And everything I said is so true. And if you haven't heard that, go back for my testimony, because that's a whole nother conversation. But, when I grew up in New Orleans, y'all, I'm 46. I know I don't look it, but I'm 46. And when I grew up in New Orleans, we were like a family of neighborhoods. I know y'all remember that. And we just, there was a love, and there just isn't that anymore. And we need to just get back to loving thy neighbor. That's just one of my things. And people just and I'm like, love thy neighbor. Katrina and Ida gave us a nasty two-step, and we need to get back to second lining, and instead of just surviving and being resilient, we need to thrive. And I just believe that if we empower our residents, because y'all, we are very creative people in the city of New Orleans, and I believe if we give people the information, then we can figure it out for ourselves. But too often they like to keep the residents of the city of New Orleans clueless. And I'm just over it. And there's so many times where I'm watching the news, and I'm watching the information that they're giving you from the city, and I'm like, they're lying. They're lying. They're 100% lying. And when you work in comms and know how they deliver information, and know what they're keeping out and how stuff gets to you, y'all think it's fresh off the news and it's the first thing happening. A lot of the stuff y'all see, it's been happening for 6 or 7 months in the process, or things like that. Y'all as residents just need to be at the front end and not the back end, and I'm over it. And so I'm up for talking, and if they have a problem with it, I'll hear that too. Everybody wants to say I'm this or I'm that, or when we first came out with the recall, they said, oh, she's a Republican. Where? How? And the Democrats, and the Democrats calling me a Republican, and then you have, actually it's crazy, because I grew up 100% blue, but I had Republicans who were nicer to me than Democrats. And I'm like, I grew up with y'all. Y'all were my besties. How are they nicer to me than my own people? But that's nor here nor there. We just need to get back to the basics. And New Orleans has always been a little different. We have our own swag. We don't sway with the nation. We do our own thing. And so it's just time for us to do our own thing and to be empowered and to speak up for ourselves, because I'm just gonna be honest, you can't even get all of your information from one spot, especially in anywhere, honestly. Do not get all of your information from one spot. Make sure that you get some type of independent media and you're not just like listening to one, I don't want to call anyone out, but any major news station just all day long and kind of being programmed. You need to listen to different stuff, listen to different, Peach Snowball Ramp, don't even play with me. Y'all, Ramp, we need the Corner Store Chronicles again. If y'all were listening to me on WBOK from 2013 to 2017, you will know what I'm talking about. But Snowball is a big ramp. Peach, and from the Corner Store, or was it Peach or Nectar Cream? It was something like that, but I knew it was something like that. But anyway, I don't want to keep this long, but you can follow me, Faith in Politics. You can follow me on Apple, YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart, Boomplay, Player FM, Listen Notes, Podchaser. Yes, y'all, I'm everywhere. So make sure you go subscribe, hit the notifications so you can find out when I'm on, because this Wednesday is kind of a one-off. My Wednesdays will really be kind of that one-on-one listening to people, trying to understand what solutions they need for their neighborhoods, and then we're going to go like rah-rah for them. Like if you say you need ABC in your neighborhood, well, you know, if I have information or know of information that can help get you there faster, just because I've worked in the city of New Orleans and know how to navigate certain things, well, then I think that we should do that. And if we help each other as neighbors, then we can get so much further in the situation. So just a short recap of what we've talked about in Faith and Politics and what went out in that blast. So we talked about the strong mayor system of government, and we talked about what departments the mayor is over. So I'm going to quickly go through those and hop off here. So, knocked over the microphone. Oops. But, and if y'all haven't read the city charter, that is something I also want to encourage you to do. Now, you may not go read the whole thing in one day, but go read what the mayor is responsible for. Go read what the city council is responsible for. Go read, did y'all know that the city of New Orleans has a Bill of Rights? If you didn't know that, it was in my last podcast. So you can go to YouTube right now and go listen to episode 21. What the departments of the city of New Orleans, it breaks down the Bill of Rights as the city of New Orleans. We are actually supposed to have a non-corrupt government. It says it in our Bill of Rights, but you know, who reads that? So anyway, our strong mayor government. If you don't know what type of government the city of New Orleans has, guess what? You're not alone, because I didn't know it until about probably 2018 when I worked for the city of New Orleans. I found out we have a strong mayor system, and that is broken down in section 102 in our city charter, the form of government. The government provided by this charter shall be known as the mayor council form of government. The mayor shall be aided by a chief administrative officer who in the performance of the duties of office shall be responsible to the mayor. So as you see, we have a strong mayor government. You're like, okay, but what does that mean? Why is that different? Well, your mayor council government can be broadly divided into two types. You have strong and you have weak. Now I've said we have strong. So the differences center on the scope of the mayor's executive authority and legal power. So now that I said we have a strong mayor system, that should make you understand that if the mayor and the city council aren't getting along, or if the mayor isn't working and no one is filling that position, there is a void and no one can really fill it. Why? Because it's the executive branch. No one else has those powers. So you see the problem. So the strong mayor council government reflects the organization of most state governments. The mayor is the city's chief executive, while the city council is the city's primary legislative branch. The characteristics of a strong mayor council government are as follows. The mayor may appoint and remove departmental heads. Yes, but as you know, 2 years ago, the residents voted on this. The city council put it up to vote because of all the issues that they're having with the mayor. And if y'all don't know, I've said this during the recall, but I'll say it again. The mayor quiet quit in 2020. We're in 2025. So if she quiet quit in 2020, what do you think has been happening to the city? I'm just being real. I'll tell you the truth. You can think about it yourself. Let that sink in and go back and watch what's happened to the city. She quiet quit. The mayor drafts and proposes a budget to city council. The mayor possesses veto or line item veto power. The mayor officially represents the city in the state, national, and international levels. The mayor exercises oversight of the city's day-to-day operations. The mayor enforces city laws and ordinances, and the mayor is not a member of the city council. So now you understand the authority that a strong mayor system of government has. It really has authority over everything, to be perfectly honest. And I'm going to give you a breakdown of that, because the organization of that is the mayor is over all of the branches, not the branches, the mayor is over the executive branch. And that means all of the departments. So I'm going to go through the departments that the mayor is responsible for right now, and I'm going to read it off of the city charter. After that, I'm going to go to NOLA.gov, and you can go there too, NOLA.gov, and you can hit departments. You can look at all of the city departments. I'm going to read to you the ones that kind of aren't on here, because they'll have like the Office of Neighborhood Engagement from the mayor, or they'll have the mayor's Office of Gun Violence Determined, or whatever the name of it is, or the mayor's office of a community development, the mayor's office of whatever it is. Those are little offices under the mayor's office that people may not even know exist, but they do exist. And we need to know that they exist so you can interact with these departments, and so that you know who's responsible for what. Because we can go sit in city council chambers and fuss at your city councilman all day long, but the city council person takes your request or whatever your situation is, and they go to the department. They have a community liaison in their office that says, hey, you have an issue with permitting. Okay, great. Let me see if I can help you. So they then call the Department of Safety and Permits and says, hey, my resident needs help in ABC. So you have the head of that department. But who is over that department? The mayor. So you see how they will come into where if the mayor doesn't like the council member, then you can have friction. And so that's what you see in the city of New Orleans. You see a lot of friction. So the departments that are listed in the city charter that the mayor is responsible for is Department of Law, Department of Police, Department of Fire, Department of Safety and Permits, Department of Sanitation, Department of Public Works, Department of Recreation, Department of Human Services, Department of Health, Department of Finance, Department of Property Management, Department of City Civil Service, Department of Utilities, Department of Parks and Parkways. The mayor also is over boards and commissions. Either she's the head of it, or she places people on these boards and commissions. So I'll go through those quickly. And this is all y'all just reading the city charter. Boards and commissions. In the Department of City Civil Service, the Civil Service Commission. Attached to departments or commissions, to the Department of Safety and Permits, Board of Building Standards and Appeals, to the City Planning Commission, Board of Zoning Adjustments, to the Department of Property Management, Delgado Albania Plantation Commission, to the Board of Finance, Board of Trustees of the Municipal Employees Retirement System, Board of Trustees of the Police Pension Fund, Board of Trustees of the Firemen's Pension and Relief Fund. Other boards, the Board of City Trust, Central Business District Historic District Landmarks Commission, New Orleans Historic District Landmarks Commission, Mosquito Control Board, Board of Liquidation, that will be your city debt, Public Belt Railroad Commission, Sewerage and Water Board. Y'all hear me say, oh, the mayor's the head of Sewage and Water Board. She's the head of the board. City Planning Commission, Public Library Board, New Orleans Aviation Board, the airport, the Vieux Carré Commission, Audubon Commission, New Orleans Alcoholic Beverage Control Board, and New Orleans Recreation Development Commission. And last but not least, the Human Rights Commission. So that is everything that I read directly from the city charter. Now I'm going to go really quickly to the department tabs on NOLA.gov. So y'all, if you're not there, you can find this on NOLA.gov. You can just hit departments, and then they will all pop down for you. And it kind of goes from A through Z. So I'm going to kind of quickly read through. I read through most of them, the departments, but I'm going to try to pick through the mayor's office that you may not necessarily see all the time. Like, well, of course, we said the Department of Code Enforcement, the Mayor's Office of Communications, that's what I was a part of, the Office of Community Assets and Investments, the Office of Community Development, the Office of Criminal Justice Coordination. Did y'all hear me? Yes, I said the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice Coordination. Okay. FYI, they have that office. The Mayor's Office of Cultural Economy. Now, y'all probably see a lot of that going on. You'll see a lot of that going on with Super Bowl and things of that nature. If you are a vendor, or you have a small business like that, where you're like out and about in the community, or the second line clubs and things of that nature, or you are the food carts or something like that, you may have dealt with the Mayor's Office of Cultural Economy. Let's see, the Mayor's Office of Economic Development. You have the Film New Orleans. You have, like I said, the Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Let's see, what else do they have on here? Did I say Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness? I don't know if we said that, but making sure we put that in there. Information and Technology, all of your IT, your Job One, your maternal health. Let's see, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Engagement. We already said NORD. The Mayor's Office of Nighttime Economy. Y'all know that that's reasonably new. We said Parks and Parkways. Let's see. Department of Property Management. We said that. Let's see. What else? Let's go through these. Oh, and here's one of my favorite. The Mayor's Office of Youth and Families. What have y'all heard that the Mayor's Office of Youth and Families was doing? Anyway, I believe they should be having a teen summit, but, you know, who am I? We need to bring Teen Summit back, but that's a whole nother conversation because y'all don't even want to know the deets behind that. But I could give them, but not today. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here, kind of be short. I don't know if that was short because I wanted to make sure I kind of gave it all to you. Just kind of a recap of what we're doing with Faith in Politics. Faith in Politics is to empower the residents of New Orleans with some information, hopefully get people more engaged in the process civically and what's going on in New Orleans. We've had some very low voter turnout numbers. And so we just want to, you know, when we know better, we do better. And so let's all do better. So I encourage you to do that. And with that being said, also, hey, y'all, make sure you register to vote and update your voter registration information. If you are not registered to vote, if your cousins, your family members, you know, everybody's getting together for Mardi Gras right now. Why don't you encourage everybody to register to vote, find out where their voting locations are. If you have any new little cousins or family members who are 18 and need to register to vote, guess what, y'all? You can do it online. sos.la.gov. sos.la.gov. You can go online. You can update your address. You can update your party affiliation. If you want to be independent like me and get rid of both of them, you can update your address. You can update all kind of stuff. All you need is to have an updated ID from the state of Louisiana, and then you can go on sos.la.gov. So I want to encourage everybody and let you know that you can go register to vote and make sure you save that information and give it to your family members and share. Y'all, we have a lot of elections coming up with the city council and the mayor and everything else in the city of New Orleans. We really need to make sure that we are empowered with information. We need to make sure we use our voices. We speak up. We ain't got no time to be playing. We've been playing, you know, for the last couple of years, and New Orleans is, you know, we're late to the game. We really are. And that's why you see the state has come in and done so many things in New Orleans. And that's just because our executive branch leadership has not been executiving. I know that's not a word, but it's just the best way I could say it without just being sad about it. So I just really encourage everyone to tap in, join Faith in Politics. You can be as involved as you want. Like I said, on Tuesdays, we will have that blast. That blast will have all of the information for the week, what's going on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. On Wednesdays, we will have meetups either in person or on Zoom. Tonight it was by Zoom, but you know, I may like go sit at a coffee shop and work from like 10 to 4 that day. And so people can come in and like, let's have conversations. I did that a lot during the recall, and I found that, you know, I was able to really have one-on-ones and hear about what's going on and what people needed. And I really like that format. As you can tell, I like to talk. And so having come from radio, that hasn't changed. And so I just want to understand what people's needs are, and so that we can find viable solutions and then go like, hey, city leaders, we need this. And so if we can work together, we can like build up some stuff for our neighborhoods and hopefully our children. I really feel like our children have been lost, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just being real. You know, we have all of these elected officials that have been holding office for like all of these years, and I'm like, where's the focus on the kids? they're going to be taking over the city in a couple of years. Where's the focus on the kids to make sure that they are educated and they know what opportunities are available, even what maybe city opportunities, like, hey, you can go do this and get this type of job in the city, or, these have these trade schools available, or this is what's available in our region, or, just sharing information that encourage them. I mean, like, pay our kids their summer jobs, pay them on time like we said they would, but maybe that's too much. But anyway, I say that in jest, but I'm serious, because I don't feel like any of our politicians have taken on the quest of our children. And so I love the kids. I was really active in Harrell because my son was there for 7 years. Shout out to Harrell. I love all the mother parks, but HU for life. And, what we do uptown, we just need to love on the kids. They need us in the city of New Orleans, and we need to do better by them on every level. So with that, I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you go subscribe for the email blast and the SMS text. You can do that through all of the links in my social bios. So if you're watching me on Instagram right now, you can go to the link in my bio and you can go, I think it's the last one because it's the newest one I put, and it's to sign up. You can sign up for the email and the SMS, because I want to hear from you. So on Saturdays, we'll be like sending you an SMS text, and I want to know what your solutions are. Like, maybe we'll be talking about streets and infrastructure. Maybe we'll be talking about economic development. Maybe we'll be talking about youth, activities. What do you want to see for the youth in New Orleans? Y'all, we had so much to do when I was young. It's just a trip. And we just need to get back to loving our neighbors, just to make it short. So thanks so much for tuning in. This is Eileen with Faith in Politics. And don't forget to subscribe, y'all, everywhere you listen. Oh, let me hit this real quick. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find me. And so these are all the places that you can find me: Apple, YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart, Boomplay, Player FM, Listen Notes, Podchaser. You can find me at all of those places. You can find me live on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And YouTube was tripping tonight, y'all. I got kicked off of that, so I don't know what happened with that, but we'll figure it out later. But thanks so much for tuning in. This is Faith in Politics with me, Eileen. And just quick prayer before we leave. Lord, you said where two or more are gathered, you are here in our presence, and you are here with us now. And we just ask for your protection over ourselves, our loved ones, and over our city. Lord, you know what is best for the city of New Orleans. Please root out all evil and let your will be done. In Jesus' name I pray. Thanks so much for tuning in, y'all. See y'all next time, and make sure you sign up so you'll know when I'm going to be on here. Peace out. Bye.